Okay, this is chapter 14, Developing the Introduction. In this chapter, we're going to talk about the functions of the introduction, audience attention. We're going to talk about previewing the topic and purpose, how to establish your credibility, how to preview the main points, and how to motivate your audience, all in the introduction. Sometimes this seems like a lot of work for students, or students get overwhelmed by the idea of having to do all of these things, but it's just in the introduction, but it's a lot simpler than it sounds. So we're going to talk about that in this chapter. The first thing is the functions of the introduction. So you want to arouse your audience's attention. This is in your attention getter. I've told many of you, you start with your name. So you would say like, my name is Tia Atkinson, and today I'm going to tell you about why you should purchase this type of boots as opposed to this type. That's not interesting. That doesn't make your audience want to listen to you, right? We're there to listen to you because we have to be, but we don't want to listen to you. So tell us something interesting about whatever it is you're talking about. So if you're selling a pair of boots, tell me something interesting about that pair of boots. Tell me its price point. Tell me a cool statistic, a cool fact. Mila Kunis wears this type of boots, and that's why you should purchase it. Something that's going to draw me in and make me want to listen to what you're talking about. The purpose of the introduction is to introduce the topic and purpose. So for your informative speech, your purpose is to inform us. For your persuasive speech, your purpose is to persuade us to whatever it is that you're telling us about. And then you want to establish credibility. Some of you are still struggling with this. This is not saying I'm credible on this topic because I'm here to tell you about this topic because I researched it. That does not make you credible. What makes you credible, if you were trying to sell me a pair of boots, you would say, I've only purchased these boots for the last 10 years and no other brand or something like that. And then you want to preview your main points. So you can say something as simple as, today we're going to talk about why you should purchase these boots, this price point, the price point of these boots compared to other boots, and where you can purchase these boots. And then you would, move on with the rest of your introduction. And then you want to motivate your audience to accept your goals. So for your persuasive speech, you're trying to change something. You're trying to make us change something, do something different. So you want to motivate us to accept those goals of whatever it is that you're trying to change. Audience attention. So a way to do this is to use a quotation, tell a story, pose a question. When you're posing a question, I would be really careful because sometimes your audience gets confused as to whether they're really supposed to answer. Is it a rhetorical question? Is it something that we need to answer out loud? Why are you asking that question? And it gets confusing. So make sure that you're really clear in the way that you ask the question. Offer unusual information. Use humor, maybe. So if you think you're funny but nobody else thinks you're funny, then don't use humor because that can make it really awkward. And then your audience, it diminishes your credibility, and your audience doesn't really want to listen to your speech because they think, oh my gosh, she's going to make cheesy jokes for the remainder of her speech. You can also establish common ground. So I think the book uses the example of a gun lobbyist talking to a group of parents in a school and saying, we all have kids, even if you don't have kids, I have nieces and nephews, or I have younger brothers and sisters, something that makes them feel like, oh, I can connect with this person. And then refer to the occasion. So what are you doing? Are you at work? Are you giving a toast? Are you at your best friend's wedding? What is it? So you could refer to the occasion. If you're at your best friend's wedding, saying something like, we're all here today to celebrate so and so and so and so. Those are ways to capture the audience's attention, and they're much more effective than saying, hello, my name is Tia Atkinson. You want to preview the topic and purpose. So you want to declare what your speech is about. What are you telling us in this speech? Why should we be listening? What are we going to accomplish together as a speaker and an audience in the duration of this speech? In a persuasive speech, don't attempt to forewarn your audience because you may turn them off of your topic. So if you're talking about abortion, don't say something like, so this is going to get really gory. Just go into it. Sometimes the element of surprise is better, and it catches your audience off guard, but it also gives them an opportunity to see it for the first time in a different lens, as opposed to you saying, I'm going to show you some really gory stuff, or this is going to get really bad. You don't want to do that. You want to let them figure it out for themselves. Establish your credibility. Your audience wants to believe that they can trust you. They want to know that you're good at whatever it is that you're talking about. They want to know that you are someone that they can trust, someone that they can listen to. They want that. It's important when your audience doesn't know you. So if you're coming into this speech as a complete stranger, you really want to establish your credibility so that they believe that they can trust you and they're going to listen to that. You just need to offer a simple statement of your qualifications. So you can say something as simple as, I'm an engineering major, and that's why I'm here to talk to you today about 3D printing. I have had a student before say, I popped an Addy and researched this topic for 24 hours. First of all, don't tell me that. Second of all, that does not make you credible. You need to have some kind of qualification that makes you credible. In your introduction, you want to motivate your audience. You want them to care about your topic and believe that it's relevant to them, even if it's not. It might not be something that they care about. It might not be something that they want to listen to, but you want them to think that it's something that should be really important to them in their life. You want to talk about practical implications. So whatever it is that you're trying to persuade your audience to do, how does that relate to me? Why do I care? Why am I listening to this speech? And you want to see that, you want to let them see you are consistent with their motives and values, which this is not always easy. If you're speaking to an audience of 400 people, it's not easy to relate to all of their motives and values. Some of them are going to be different. But if this class were a face-to-face class and you were speaking to a group of 25 Republican, conservative, West Texas students at Texas Tech University, you would be able to figure out what their motives are and what their values are for being there. If you have any questions about this, about how to write your introduction or what an introduction is or why your introduction is there, please let me know. I know this is a really short PowerPoint. Most of you do really well with writing an introduction. You just struggle with little things like establishing your credibility or your attention getter. But if you have any questions over how to write your introduction or if it sounds okay, please let me know and I will be happy to assist you with those things.